perception of it as well. For the Machigenga, the physical and spiritual worlds are impossible to separate.
This is the spirit clearing, where the good spirits live. If you take ayahuasca, you can see the houses where they live. You can see the animals that they raise as pets and which become our game animals when released. These are the Sainkerite, the good spirits that help and protect us.
In the dual physical and spiritual world in which they live, the Machigenga have learned to use certain plant drugs that bring them into even closer contact with the spiritual world. Ground tobacco is blown into the nose using a pipe made from the leg of a stork.
Tobacco is one of many plants that Machigenga men use to improve their hunting ability, and it's also used by shamans to take them into the spirit world. When people share tobacco, it often goes along lines of friendship, so that if someone else jumps in and wants to share tobacco with someone, they'll say, no, 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 I'm sharing tobacco with this person, not with you, because only friends share tobacco. Well, when I came here the first time, I was interested in shamanism just to find out if there was anyone left practicing it. And so I was asking lots of questions about it. And this time when I came back, I sort of accepted the fact that there are no shamans around, and I didn't ask about it very much. And one day he just came up to me and handed me a little bit of tobacco, and he ate it first and then put it in my mouth. And that's what a shaman does to his apprentice. So he's been sort of joking around with me, half joking about now it's my turn to be a shaman since there's none left here.
For the Machigenga, each animal and plant in the forest is imbued with a spirit. Even their pets are raised in imitation of the good forest spirits who raise and release their game animals in the forest clearings. Macaws and other parrots are captured when young. Once grown, they're allowed to fly free back to the forest. Because their knowledge of the forest and each animal's place in it is so intimate, all pets are fed according to their natural needs. Young parakeets are fed a meal of masticated banana, similar to the regurgitated food they would receive in the wild from their parents. Mariano's wife feeds a sunbittern a diet of carefully collected freshwater shrimp. This young spider monkey's mother was killed by Antonio during a hunt. Now it's practically a member of the family. The tapir is South America's largest mammal. This one, a female, was raised by Marino and Alejo. At 400 pounds, she's Alejo's favorite pet. nearby lakes support an unbelievable number of species, each exploiting a unique niche in the food chain. The rare agami heron specializes in small fish. The pale-legged hornero feeds on small insects that it finds by endlessly flipping leaves. This member of the ovenbird family is named for its unique oven-shaped nest built of mud. The spiral-shaped entrance is similar in design to a snail shell. For this rufescent tiger heron, a cicada is tempting but difficult to swallow. Rare throughout much of the Amazon due to hunting, side-necked turtles are common in Manu. They spend hours each day sunning themselves and fending off bees and butterflies that feed on minerals in their nasal passages and eyes. A world record 1,000 species of birds inhabits Manu National Park. Amazingly, an area only 50 by 100 miles wide contains 10% of all the bird species in the world. The largest predator of the lakes is the black caiman. They start small, however, and are less than 8 inches long when hatched. This week-old group clusters together for protection against potential predators like the white-necked heron. These incredibly rich oxbow lakes are formed when the meandering Manu River changes course. Surprisingly, the most common mammals in the rainforest are bats, accounting for over 120 of the 200 mammal species in Manu. Proboscis bats spend their days roosting beneath logs over water. By night, they gorge themselves on insects. Another insect eater, the lesser kiskadee, plucks flies off a caiman's head. Like all of Manu's species, the wattled jacana has a unique niche. Jacanas have enormously elongated toes that act like snowshoes, allowing them to forage atop floating plants. Not far away, a pair of rufescent tiger herons perform an unusual territorial display. An interloper replies to their warning calls. Black-capped mocking thrushes join in a duet to advertise their territory. Cormorants, by contrast, have no territories and nest in colonies. The primitive Huatzin has lived in the jungle, virtually unchanged for 20 million years.
Yani virosi ikemisan takempi paidan, jogotana kita.
Ate, ililorikara kemadi kantasi.
Paitan fit ari pipere.
Oga manita ilorokena.
Tiaranta.
Oga manita ilotanokena.
Anta abotik.
Maka kanokpo kati. Ate no giata kiri. Awa.
Ikia kimutan kia ikan tak yokot nak ikien kitawan.
Ikengi. Oga tunga ikengi.
Ikien
Keka. Iri yung papala kemali ikan.
Long ago, the moon spirit came down and visited the Machiginga. At that time, our ancestors had no crops. We only ate dirt. The moon spirit married a Machiginga woman and taught the people how to grow manioc and other crops. The woman became pregnant, the first woman to do so. During childbirth, the woman's family thought she was dying and accused the moon of trying to kill her. They angrily told the moon to take her. The moon spirit then grew angry, turned the woman's soul into a tapir, and hunted it and killed it. The moon then returned to the sky, where it remains today. Ever since then, our souls have turned into tapirs when we die, and the moon hunts them down the night trails and kills them. Only the shamans are able to escape. Without the moon, we wouldn't have many roots. We wouldn't have gardens. There would be no birth or death in the world today.
The moon spirit brought agriculture to the Machigenga, and ever since they have cut clearings out of the forest to cultivate their crops.
The main staple of the Machiginga diet is manioc, and they have more than 25 different genetic varieties, because if they grew only one variety, then diseases or pests would destroy their entire garden. So instead, Machiginga gardening imitates the natural diversity of the rainforest.
By singing to the spirit of the manioc, the plant releases its hold on the soil. And as Mariano plants new manioc shoots, he sings to the plant spirit, encouraging it to grow. Here, in the middle of what was once a garden, Marino harvests a palm heart tree.
Machiginga gardening is based on the principle of long fallow cycles and the natural regeneration of the forest. So in the first cycle, they'll plant manioc and corn, and then bananas, and then later on arrow reeds, and finally fruit trees. So the result of this is that a single area of the rainforest is continually productive for more than 20 years, and yet at the end of that time, it looks like a rainforest again.
The oldest gardeners of the rainforest are not people, but tiny leafcutter ants. Smaller leafcutters ride shotgun on the leaves, protecting the larger workers from parasitic wasps. The leaves aren't eaten. Rather, they are used to fertilize underground gardens of fungi that the ants feed on. 3 months after chopping down the palm heart tree, Maura and Alejo returned to harvest a new crop waiting just beneath the bark. Fattened on palm oil, beetle grubs are considered a rainforest delicacy. They taste like soft cheese. From a very young age, boys and girls are indoctrinated into the respective roles they will play in Machagenga society. For the most part, they learn by watching and imitating their parents. Alejo's sister, Elena, and her cousin make masato, manioc root that is chewed, then allowed to ferment into a nourishing type of beer. At 3 or 4, boys start making their first set of miniature bows and arrows. Then they go out hunting beetles, butterflies, and later small monkeys and birds. Alejo and his cousin Pedro allow themselves to be repeatedly stung by a swarm of bees. In doing so, they believe that their aim with an arrow will become as accurate as a bee is with its sting. There are other hunters abroad in the forest. A column of army ants has raided another ant nest and is carrying off eggs as booty. In an old garden clearing that has reverted back to forest, Mariano helps dig for barbasco roots, a natural fish poison. The Machigenga only fish with barbasco during the dry season, when the Manu's tributaries are low and the poison won't be too diluted. The root's poison stuns the fish, causing them to float to the surface. The poison only affects the fish's gills, not their flesh. Like the Machigenga, Manu's birds and monkeys also rely on dry season survival strategies. Surprisingly, studies in Manu reveal that only a dozen species of flowering plants provide food for the majority of birds and monkeys during the dry summer months. Remove this handful of trees and vines, and a vital food link in the forest would disappear, condemning entire groups of animals to extinction. The Matisia tree is one of these critical links. Its nectar provides food for an amazing variety of tropical birds. An emperor tamarin monkey, named for its regal mustache, is a pollinator of combretum vines, another critical dry season bloomer. These one-pound primates often travel in the company of saddleback tamarins and will jointly defend a common territory. By May or June, the Manu River drops dramatically, as much as 10 feet, and sandy beaches hundreds of feet wide suddenly emerge. These temporary habitats are crucial breeding and nesting grounds for migratory birds. Some arrive from distant oceans, and others from as far as Mexico, Argentina, and Chile. On the river's edge, 4 capped herons perform a rare mating display never before observed. Black skimmers plow along the river surface, scooping up fish and crustaceans. During the summer months, they pair off, performing courtship rituals prior to nesting on the hot beaches. Not far from the river's edge, a curious pattern of holes dot the sand. Female sand wasps excavate 5-inch deep tunnels where they lay a single egg. The females capture live horseflies, sometimes even stealing them from other wasps. The paralyzed fly is then sealed in the chamber as a live offering for the wasp's hungry young. All kinds of prey species, such as the horned screamer, roam Manu's beaches. They act as lures to predators like the jaguar, the largest cat on the continent. By November or December, the skies open up and the rainy season begins. To the Machagenga, lightning and thunder are the explosions made when the souls of shamans attack and kill demon spirits hidden deep in the forest. Demon spirits often prey upon the souls of the very young. To protect her children, Maura paints their faces with a jaguar pattern. Should a demon spirit pass by, it will see not a child but a fierce jaguar and will flee back to the forest. Even hair cutting holds spiritual significance for the Machagenga. Hair thrown casually on the ground could be carried off by birds to a demon spirit who might steal the person's soul. Once the hair is thrown in the river, the girls' souls are safe and the demon spirits can no longer harm them. At the beginning of the rainy season, Mariano and other Machigenga men always gather to take ayahuasca, a powerful hallucinogenic drug made from a vine.